There is always going to be somebody who is smarter than you, someone who is better than you, someone who is more skilled than you, especially in an era where we can literally type, improve my messaging, act as a copywriter into AI and get the best possible answers. We have the highest of highly skilled people right now in business. So how do you get a competitive edge? If your knowledge, if your guidance isn't the thing that will push people over the edge, well, inside of today's training, I am going to be breaking that down. I spent a really, really long time in 2024, 2025 trying to be the best. I tried to learn how to be the best at messaging, tried to learn how to be the best at sales psychology. And even though I got really good and I spent thousands and thousands of pounds of learning these skills, I spent time learning from the best, learning how to curate it. I realized something that nobody is talking about, and that is your level of speed is actually what people are seeking. You see, right now, people know that they can Google a lot of answers, right? They can Google how to do something. They can chat GPT it. They can AI it. There are thousands and thousands of AI bots that people have created, their own GPTs that actually do this for you. And so your information and your knowledge isn't actually that valuable anymore. As difficult as that is to hear, your information, your knowledge, it's valuable, but it's not the most important thing. And what I realized was by the time it took me to perfectly curate messaging, to perfectly curate the best ever sales page, I realized that somebody else that I followed had just gone out and sold a launch through a freaking Google Doc. She had put a Google Doc on her story. People had bought it in the same time that I had been working and overthinking my same sales page for the 4 weeks prior. And this is where I learned that perfectionism isn't just high standards. Perfectionism is actually having problems that are very, very small. I learned this from Benjamin Hardy, who speaks about, and he spoke about it on a podcast that I listened to with, I believe it was Ed Myler, and they were speaking about if your biggest problems are knowing exactly what to say, knowing exactly how to write things, your problems are too small, which means your vision is too small. Meanwhile, there is somebody else out there that is taking faster action, that is moving bigger, and that is dominating the market, not because of what they say, but because of their actions and their identity. And inside of today's training, I want to take you through the 3 elements of speed and the 3 frameworks of speed that will guarantee that you blow up your business in 2025 and beyond and gain that competitive edge. I want you to think about what comes up for you when you hear speed. Most people think speed equals hustle. Speed equals let me glug back 7 coffees and sit at my laptop and slam on the keys and hustle my ass off because speed. But the truth is that is not what speed is, and that is not the speed that matters most in business. In fact, that kind of speed is a waste of time because all you're doing is working more hours without any real direction and without actually knowing if what you're doing is working. So there are 3 models of speed that I personally implement and teach all of my clients, and it is the type of speed that is allowing me to collapse my income monumentally. Let me explain. In the first year of my fitness business, I made £10,000 in the entire year. By the second year, we'd hit £95,000 for the year. By the third year, we'd hit £160,000. Now, that was in a fitness business in a niche that is generally saturated. How do we do this? Well, it was a level of speed. The same goes in the current business that I'm running now, my business mentoring, my consulting, my mindset work with my clients. In the very, very short period of time, I have scaled this business from 0 to high 5-figure months. How have I done this? How have I built such an audience? How have I built such an authority going from fitness coaching, having an audience of fitness clients, people that wanted to follow me for protein tips, to then talking about business and maintaining that brand, maintaining those values and having so many people join my world? Well, this was down to a level of speed. And there are 3 main core pillars when it comes to speed that have nothing to do with the amount of hustle that you put in. The first pillar of speed that I need you to embody is the first type of speed that you should be working on every single day, day in, day out, rain or shine, whether things are going your way or not. And the speed that actually is more important than I'd argue any of the other ones is the speed of your belief change. Imagine a scenario where you have this belief of, I don't think this is going to work for me because it is your responsibility to change that belief as fast as physically possible. And this is actually the speed that matters so much fucking more than the amount of hustle that you put in. I recently had a fear, and I'm going to tell this honestly with you because I know you appreciate that. I had this belief that, oh my God, okay, I have had a video go viral on YouTube, and now I'm kind of scared that none of them are ever going to quite hit the mark in the same way. What if I can't deliver in the same way? What if I can't get the hook right? And so the limiting belief was because I've done well once, I'm never going to be able to live up to this. Or what if I can't live up to this? And what if I'm a one hit wonder, right? What if that was my only chance at success and I didn't repeat it and I didn't exactly perfect it? And so that limiting belief, you get to decide two things. Do I live by this limiting belief and do I allow it to determine my decisions thereafter? Or do I decide to change it in an instant? I want you to actually ask yourself, what are all of the limiting beliefs that you currently have that are holding you back? Maybe you want to launch a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to launch a podcast. Maybe you have an idea to launch this retreat. Maybe you have an idea that you want to pitch yourself to speak on somebody else's podcast. And then note all of the limiting beliefs that come up as you think of that thing. The truth is, like I said with the perfectionism, most people aren't thinking big enough. And therefore, your brain will create, I've got a hair in my eye, your brain will create very small problems because it reinforces this confirmation bias in your mind that this belief is the reason that you can't get to where you want to be. Let's say you want to have a huge business. You want to be speaking on stages. You want to be the next Tony Robbins. And yet you're racking your brains overthinking every single day. What do I say to get people to buy? What if I'm not the person that people want to buy from? These things have to be squished very fucking quickly. Because if you want to operate at a higher level, if you want to be seen as a personal brand, if you want to dominate the market, then you have to start taking action in alignment with that version of you. But right now, you have placed these conditions on you of, I can't do this until I do this. And this is a small problem that can be squished immediately. And so the most important part of speed, the most important thing when it comes to speed that you could ever do is the speed of belief change. Every single day you argue with your limitations or for your limitations, you lose money. Let me repeat this. Every day you tell yourself you can't. Every day you assume nobody's going to buy. Every day you assume that you have to get this piece of content absolutely perfect or you've ruined your entire business. You are actively fighting for your limitations. You're telling your brain, I actually believe more in the lack. I actually believe more in my lack of success than I do in my ability to succeed. And when you realize that, because we can't have action and fear and faith simultaneously, you could either believe in yourself or you don't. You either have faith or you have fear. We can't have the two at the same time when it comes to one thing. So if you have faith in your ability to, let's say, build a big personal brand, let's say even more specifically, do you want to get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube? Think about what that would do for your community. Think about what that would do for your business. Do you have the faith that you're going to do that? Or do you have the fear that it's not possible? If you have the fear that it's not possible, you'll tell yourself all of these conditions and all of these limiting beliefs. I need a camera. I need a new microphone. I need to buy a course on how to make a YouTube video. I need to buy a course on how to create the perfect thumbnail. I will never know how to speak perfectly. I mumble my words too much, so I can't do it. So do I, right? All of these things are conditions that you place upon yourself to support the fear that you have. I have been there. I have a 2,000 pound camera in my bedroom that I have never properly used. Why? Because I created these conditions. It took me 2 years to properly do this YouTube thing. 2 years. Just saying, you have to decide to kill your beliefs quickly, to kill the limiting beliefs, therefore you can grow. And the speed of this belief change is the thing that will actually make you money more than anything else because your beliefs determines your actions. And if you always take action in alignment with your beliefs, which we do have, you are unconsciously taking action in alignment with what you say that you do not want. Speed number 2 is the speed of the decisions that you make. Every single time you hesitate, every single time you spend hours, days, weeks contemplating, you are taking and delaying your ability to succeed. Now, as an example, you tell yourself, I can't hire until I've hit a certain amount of income. Therefore, because you live by this belief, you take ages contemplating, should I hire? Should I not hire? Who would I hire? What would I need them for? And you spend so much mental headspace like going over the same things that you could have just gone 3, 2, 1, make a decision. This was one of those speeds that I worked on massively when I first started my business. And in fact, probably like 2 years into my business, because I was the person that really struggled to make a decision. Let me tell you, I would go to a shop and I would stand there for an hour trying to decide which bar of chocolate to buy. It was bad. It was debilitating. I could not make a decision for the life of me. And of course, as a byproduct of that, when it came to business, I struggled to make fast decisions. I struggled to decide, do I launch it or not? Do I post this or not? Do I create this or not? Do I get rid of that client that has bugged me for like the last 300 days, who has sent me 3,000 messages and called me at midnight? Do I let go of that client or do I not? And this slow decision making really caused such a hole in my business, because I would then outsource my power. I would go to mentors and say, what do you think? I would ask 7 different people, what do you think? And this lack of speed in my decision making was an inherent lack of trust in myself. When you lack trust in yourself, those limiting beliefs that we just spoke about get stronger and stronger and stronger. And all of a sudden, your RAS, your reticular activating system, is looking for all of the ways to prove to yourself that you don't trust yourself, that you don't make fast decisions, and to support your limiting beliefs. So it is up to you to, one, work on the speed and work on the ability to shift your limiting beliefs, and secondly, work on your ability to trust yourself and make faster decisions. The third and final element of speed is your speed of implementation. It does not matter how big your vision is, how brilliant your mind is. This is something that I used to do. I had this huge vision. I would journal on it. I would do my affirmations. I would script it. I'm so grateful for 30K months, all these things. And the truth was, I wasn't actually taking action in alignment with that. I had a big vision. I had big goals. I could see myself, Evie Dawson, being called out on stage, but I wasn't taking action in alignment with what I wanted to do. In fact, I was rather mentally masturbating, as Alex Hormozy would say. I was spending more time thinking about it, more time checking my email, checking my Instagram, checking my Telegram, checking my email, checking my Instagram, and doing the things that didn't really matter to avoid actually the discomfort of taking action, right? And so if you have an idea, you have to collapse the time between this idea and action. Even listening to this YouTube video right now, are you going to just sit here and watch more and more YouTube videos, or are you going to make notes as I'm speaking and decide what is one thing I have to take action on everything that I consume? And when you operate in this frame, and when you operate in this mentality, you start to see where I wasn't taking action before and where I was maybe spending more time consuming and self-soothing than I was doing the things that I said that I need to do. As an example, when you're into self-development, when you're into business growth, you kind of start treating YouTube videos and trainings like Netflix, right? It becomes entertaining to watch, to entertain the idea that you're taking big action because you're consuming, because you're investing. But the truth is, launch messy, do it fast, do it wrong, right? Because you are going to learn the lessons in amidst that. One of my clients actually messaged me and said, I hired you because of how fast you take action and I love watching it, right? So do not underestimate that when you take fast action and you implement quickly, people are noticing it. People go, holy shit, it's taken me 3 years to decide whether or not to launch this podcast. I've seen Evie mention that she wants to grow it. All of a sudden, she's got like hundreds of people on her podcast, hundreds of people listening. Fuck, I want that, right? And so when you take fast action, you actually inspire other people because they go, I see, well, I'm not trusting myself enough, and maybe I should probably hire Evie. Maybe I should probably hire somebody that's moving fast. Nobody is inspired by somebody who says something and then doesn't do the thing. Maybe you've seen people do this and it kind of repels you, right? When you see people say that they're going all in, say that they're doing this big thing, and then 2 weeks later that you notice that they've stopped doing it. And you're kind of thinking, you're not really the embodiment of what you teach it. And so if you say you're going to do something, do it. And announce this publicly and bring your audience along the journey with you. If you're a fitness coach and you say, I'm setting myself a challenge to lose 5 pounds this month, go ahead and lose 5 pounds. document it, showcase what you're doing, showcase how you're taking fast action, how you're not hesitating, how you're doing the things. Why? Because so many people would love to have this trait. And so the faster that you take action and the faster that you implement something, when you learn it, when you hear it, and also when you teach it as well, the faster that you will actually make money as a byproduct of that. You realize then that you stop becoming somebody who mentally masturbates and waits for this perfectionism, and you do it messy. You learn from the mistakes, you learn from the integration, and all of a sudden your discipline, your resilience is sky high, your self-trust is sky high, your beliefs are sky high, and the speed that you do starts to compound. And it's almost like this flywheel where the efforts that you put in starts to go boom, 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 even faster. You know, like a washing machine. Probably how fast I'm talking right now. Like a washing machine. A washing machine's right? You know, the more the washing machine goes, the faster it gets. And you think, is that going to explode? That is what people start to feel in you. That's what you start to feel because you're operating at a whole nother level of speed that nobody can relate to. And in fact, this is where you have such a competitive advantage against honestly most people in the market right now, because most people are waiting for somebody to come and save them, or for somebody to do the work for them, or for somebody to tell them what to do. When you operate at these values of speed, you make fast decisions, you build on that momentum, you really practice just going for it, moving before you feel ready, doing the scary things, not knowing fully how to do it, but you're just going to do it anyway. You will start to make so much more money. You remove the conditionality to doing it. And so the fast decision making, the fast belief squishing, and the fast ability to change, to pivot, to do the thing, the faster you will make money in 2025. You can probably tell I'm very passionate about this topic. I speak very quickly because I really, really do believe in speed. And I believe that the more you take action, the more that you squish your beliefs quickly, and the more that you operate at this level, the more money that you will make. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it for my clients. And in fact, a lot of the work that I do with my clients isn't perfecting their messaging. It isn't perfecting their funnels. It's building that self-trust. It's building the entrepreneurial mindset to go, I see this limiting belief that I have. Let me squish it quickly so that I can then move on and get the most out of my journey, out of my success, out of my business, and out of my time as well. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So off the back of this video, I want you to comment down what you are going to go and take action on. Is it a limiting belief that you see that you need to squish? Is it that you have been wanting to launch a mastermind, launch a retreat, and all of these fears are coming up? What if no one signs up? What if no one buys? What if it's really embarrassing? And then you actually work on those limiting beliefs. And I'll have another training on how to actually work on your limiting beliefs in business. And I'll link it on the screen somewhere. And you ask yourself, how do I get rid of these limiting beliefs? How do I work on them? How do I then take action in alignment with them? That is when you will make a lot of money. So I want you to comment below, what are the limiting beliefs that you're working on? What are the actions that you are going to take? And what are the things that you are going to do messy without full knowing that it's going to work? Because that is when it works. I will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed it, as always, please let me know. Please give me a comment, a like, a subscribe. And I cannot wait to hear what you get up to as a byproduct of moving faster.